Hey all you fellow YouTubers, today I'm in front of this beautiful 2011 Subaru Forester,
Did he just say beautiful?
and I'm going to show you guys how to change your power steering fluid by flushing it the cheap and easy way and save yourself a few greenbacks. So stay tuned and stick around to see how. Alright guys, before we get started, here's the materials list that you're going to need for this job. Okay, the first item is going to be your PPE safety gear, which the all-important safety glasses so you don't get fluids in your eye and then you can't complete the job. And then the next thing we're going to need is gloves so you don't get that crap on your hands and get cancer about 30 years down the road. So these are going to be important. Then the next thing is we want some towels, or paper towels, so you can soak up crap if it spills on your engine or on the ground, and so your wife or your mom or whoever doesn't get pissed off at you because you got spills and stuff all over the place. So these are probably pretty important too. Then the next is you want your vehicle specific power steering fluid. In the 2011 Subaru, it recommends that you use automatic transmission fluid. And I know that sounds weird, but that's what Subaru recommends. So this will be for your power steering fluid too, if you have a Subi, like I do. Then the next thing is you're going to need a catch basin when you take out the fluid. It doesn't have to be a nice big old guy like this. It can be something much smaller, but I just use this just in case because I don't want it to spill all over the place. And then the last item is your siphoning system. This thing is from Walmart. I will show a link down below to where you can get something like this. Like I said, at Walmart it was, I believe, like $5, so really cheap, and that's all you need. So and of course I think this came with it. It was just a little dropper here, and this is just to check to see your fluid, so you don't have to use this big guy, just to check to see if it is working out or not, and you'll get the picture when I go through the other process in more detail. So and like I said, I think I got this in the kit with that, and it was like $5, so really cheap. So finally now I can show you how to do this process. Let's go! Alright, the first order of business in this process is to open up your hood, look at your engine bay, and find where your power steering reservoir is. And mine on the 2011 Subaru is right here. Next, you want to open up the cap, and mine you have to twist and then pop up, and of course shake out the excess power steering fluid that's on there, because you don't want it spilling all over the place. Set that aside, and then you take your little syringe and you want to stick it in there, pull out some fluid, check to see what the fluid color looks like. This is actually not too bad on this Subaru at all, because this thing has about 27,000 miles on it, so it should look like this. Not bad. But the reason why I'm doing this is to make sure that it doesn't go bad, and this is the best way to do it without doing an actual flush at a garage. So like I said, you take the dropper out, and then you grab a little piece of your towel, paper towel, and you put a little drop on there to see how this is going to look compared to when you take a new bottle of your vehicle specific power steering fluid and check to see a comparison on how it looks. So you do the same thing, pull a little out. You can tell the color on this one is much brighter, even for this. And then you put this down on your little paper there and do a side-by-side comparison. And as you can tell, like I said, this vehicle only has 27,000 miles on it, but you can see the difference. This is the new versus what's actually in the car right now. And I like to do preventative maintenance, so yeah, I want it to look like this color. And of course, throughout this process, you always want to go ahead and do the same thing that I did. You take the old fluid and pull it out and put it on here to try to match what your final result should be looking like this. So let's get going on how to change this stuff. Okay, the next step is to take your basin and place it near the power steering pump reservoir, and then take your siphon and insert it into your power steering pump fluid reservoir. And on the 2011 Subaru, it would be right there. But the problem is when you do this, and the reason why I got this siphon pump and not a different one is because when you go to put it in here and insert the little pipe all the way down in here, it gets blocked from sucking it all this fluid, which right here, all the way down here to about right there, there's a whole bunch of fluid. And to suck it all the way down, putting this down to the bottom, it won't reach the bottom because there's a little tiny filter down in here, and you probably can't see it, but it's straight down in there, probably about this far down, which is maybe 1.5 inches or so. And it blocks your attempt to stick this anything down there unless it's really skinny like this. And you can kind of finagle it to the side and push it all the way down till you basically reach the bottom. And then you can start to suck the fluid out, and this will be attached to this, and then you pump that, and then it will squirt into here. So I will show you that now. If your vehicle doesn't have a screen that separates the bottle here, and you can go all the way down and use another siphon, then good for you, that's awesome. But like I said, mine does. So basically, I'm gonna put that in, and try to finagle it around that screen, and then do the pumping. And just remember, you're doing this with the engine off, because if you have the engine on and you pump out fluid from that reservoir, it's going to create air bubbles in the system, and it's going to ruin your power steering pump, if I can say ruin. Jeez. And it might be hard to see, but it's filling up with the power steering fluid, and it's going into my catch basin there. And I'm just going to pump until I get no more fluid out. Try to get as much of it as possible. And it looks like that is it. Okay, the next step in the process is to take your fluid and put it into your reservoir here. And what you want to do is look at your reservoir bottle here, and this is going to be really hard to see. Let me wipe off some of the side here. But on mine, there's specific lines that you fill it up to. Like when the bottom part here, this line right here is when it's cold. This is cold min, and right up here is cold max. And then there's a line right here that's cold hot min, which is minimum, and cold or hot maximum. So it's not right now, it's not going to matter too much because this is not going to be the final time that we're going to be filling and taking this stuff out. But when you finally do this for the last time, you're going to have to make notice of these lines and fill it to the correct spot. And usually, since the engine hasn't been on, it'll be in between the cold min and the cold max. But for right now, I'm just going to fill it all the way up to the cold max, which is right here on my little reservoir, and that will be good. So give me a second and I'll fill this up. All right, here we go. Pour some of that in and just make sure you don't spill it all over the engine compartment here. Slowly pour it in and get it to that level. There we go. Put that aside, and as you can tell, right about here, that's the cold max. So we're good to go. Then I'm going to stick the cap back on and then go into the cab of the car and turn it on and take the steering wheel and go back and forth, about 2 or 3 times, and to cycle this power steering fluid through the system. And then once I do that, I'll come back over here and we're going to repeat this process over and over again. Usually, since the fluid came out pretty light colored already, if yours is really gunky, it's probably going to take a lot of time, like I've had it up to about 10, 11, 12 times of doing this. But mine, I'm sure, it's probably going to take about 3 or 4 times. So, like I said, I'm going to hop in to the car and turn it on, move the steering wheel 3 or 4 times, shut the car off again, and then come back out here and open this back up, and then we're going to siphon it back out. And like I said, do the process all over again. So stand by. Okay, now that's done. And so we're going to turn the engine off, which it's already off. Now we're going to go ahead and check underneath the cap and do the test again, the syringe test, which I've already put down the brand new oil on here. And we're going to check this to see what it looks like against the brand new oil after one change. So let's do that real fast. All right, that's what it looks like coming out of there. Not too shabby. Put a few drops down on there, and we're looking better. Go ahead and set that aside. And as you can tell, we're not looking too bad. We're actually pretty dang close already, but like I said, yours might vary because yours might be pretty dark, but this is actually looking much better. You can tell this one's a little darker on the darker red or pink, however you want to say it, and this one's kind of a little browner still, but better than it was before. So I'm thinking after about 2 or 3 times more of this, we should be good to go. So what we're going to do again is, like I said, we're going to stick the siphon back in here and drain more of it out, and then go ahead and fill it back up, and do the process over again. Put the cap on, go in, turn the engine on, turn the steering wheel hard right, hard left, 3-4 times, just depending on how you feel about that. Or you can take it out for a drive if you want. It's up to you. And then come back and do it again. So I'm gonna go ahead and siphon this out and try it again, and see how many times it's gonna take me, and then I'll show you the results. Okay, so after 6 times, this is what the result came out to be. Pull some out. Looks pretty dang good. I mean, you can't beat that. That's almost exactly what the other one is supposed to be. So, put some on there and let's check it out. And hopefully you can tell, but I mean, there is not much difference at all between the two. Not much difference at all. And that's after, like I said, six times of doing this. Your results might vary a little bit because yours might be really, really dark. So, like I said, you're just gonna have to keep doing this procedure over and over and over again, which doesn't take that much time, and you can receive these results. So hopefully you like this video. If this helps you, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you didn't, leave me a comment below and tell me why you didn't like it. Or if you did, like I said, leave a comment below and tell me why you did like it. So, all right, guys. I will probably see you on the next video on something to do with either this vehicle or another one that I have in my fleet here. So, thanks for watching, and see you in the other one. Peace!